Hello and welcome to The Silver Lining, the weekly geekly talk show where we discuss any number of topics that may have come up during the week. I am your host, Uncle Silver, aka Silver Greg, aka Greg, whatever you're comfortable calling me, and welcome to you, my co-host, the chat. I love having everybody here to discuss whatever crazy things came up with, maybe even teach me a few things, because some of this news I'm not entirely sure what to think of it. We got some Pokemon stuff that we want to talk about today. Some Mario Maker 2. Okay. Some Mario Maker 2 news. I have an interesting topic. Well, I hope it's an interesting topic about. It has to do with Death Stranding. We'll get there. But it has to do with Death Stranding, and I'm a problem that game has brought up to me. It brought up to me a while ago, and I'm pretty sure we talked about it here. Either it was a Silver Lining or it was just a regular game stream. But we did talk about it before, so I do want to get into that as a topic. I also want to get into the Contra. They announced all of the games in the Contra collection, so I'm actually pretty happy about that. Let me get that ready because I'm gonna do a search for it later. All right. Yes, but welcome everybody. Anybody out there who may be watching in the Twitch verse or the YouTube verse. Silver Lining, Rocky Bear, what's going on? I'm always worried that I'm going to be doing the show to basically just myself and the YouTube audience. But that's okay. I'm okay with that. It's my biggest problem. I always have this sort of fear that no one's going to show up. That it's just going to be busy. And you know, I think I'm at a point where I don't think that people aren't going to show up out of like, oh, we can't stand that guy. That's what I used to think. Now I just, if people are busy, we're getting back around to the summertime and people have things to do, especially on a Friday afternoon. So I always think, okay, one of these days I'm going to do the show. Is there going to be anybody there? But I don't mind that. I think I would just have a ramble, have myself a little ramble. My biggest problem is that it's would be a lot shorter of a show, but I think the YouTube audience would very much appreciate that. You know what? For everybody that's watching this on YouTube, do me a favor. Tell me in the comments whether or not you like shorter episodes or longer episodes. Last week, the episode prior to this, I believe it was, or the one before that, I went back to the split episode format where it's 4 days a week. I'm loading up different parts of the episode. So I obviously on Twitch I can't do that. On Twitch it's always just the one show. So let me know on YouTube whether or not you like that format with the split up episodes. Whether you like the one big long piece, like big long episode, or halves maybe. An hour and an hour. I don't know. I would love to know what everybody thinks from the YouTube community. I feel like I don't talk to the YouTube viewers, obviously because I'm here talking to the Twitch viewers. But Rocky Bear, Fox, E Portlock, Wing Zero, Lilac, Agent 501. Happy Friday, everybody. Gabby, what's going on? I'm back for one night only. Oh wait. I got buttons for that. One night only. One night only. Gotta start remembering to use those buttons. Middle of exam season. Haven't had time to stop by. That's okay, Gabby. Exams are what's important. We are secondary at best. Had to switch to my old laptop, so I don't know what might happen. Hopefully it stays connected. Let's hope so. Will you be seeing Godzilla King of the Monsters? Probably not. Only because if I'm going to see anything in the theater, we actually went last weekend and saw Endgame. Beth finally saw it. She hadn't gotten to see it yet. So we went to do that. If I go to the theater for anything right now, it's going to be for John Wick 3, which I honestly don't expect to be going to the theaters to see. I do want to see Godzilla King of the Monsters, though. I've got my back scratcher here, and I'm like waving it around. I feel like I'm going to point to 5 different things on the board. I saw the review about Godzilla where they were saying, "Oh, it's just like 2 hours of giant monsters fighting." Yeah, thank you. That's That's kind of what we want. The last thing we want is another giant monster movie with 4 minutes of giant monsters and an hour and a half of people talking about how the monsters are on their way. We don't want that. Shadow, it's my birthday. Happy birthday, Shadow. It's your birthday. Happy birthday. I need a button for birthdays, like to actually celebrate people's birthdays. Anyone watching this on YouTube, place your bets on who will survive in Running Man. I don't I think they might be able to already know Running Man. I had my speakers on. I think they might already know who survives and who doesn't in Running Man, which actually Running Man the movie is based on, I think it's Running Man that is based on no. I think that's the movie They Live. It's based on a short story called 8 o'clock in the morning. I think that's actually the movie They Live. In the book for Running Man, I think he dies. Ben Richards crashes a helicopter into the television station and kills all of the people in there. But yeah, I think he dies at the end of the book. I love Running Man. I think Running Man's great. Before I adopted the name Silver for my characters in video games and my sort of online persona in a way, not persona, but my online presence. Before that, I was Ben Richards, and I actually still have characters in old games that were named Ben Richards, the Running Man. Yeah, Ben Richards died in the book. Yeah, Rocky Bear, you can look that up. I'm pretty sure he crashes a helicopter into the television tower, and I think he dies at the end of the book. Penguin, what is happening? Penguin High Definition. Now, is that Penguin? Is that 1080p or 4K, or are you 8K? Are you like top of the line HD, or does the D stand for something else? Shit, I might read that. Ben Richards, yeah. Yeah, Rocky, I gotta go back and watch that movie. I'm a little surprised that with society the way it's been over the last 10 years, with social media being the way it is and all, I'm a little surprised that they haven't tried to remake that movie. They remade Total Recall. They keep pumping out Terminator movies that no one's asking for. I'm a little surprised that at no point has anyone tried to redo The Running Man. I would watch that movie. I think I would really watch that movie, even though I know it wouldn't be as good as the original. But I don't know. I think that movie with modern day special effects and stuff would be very interesting. And like I said, social media would actually play a huge part in the storyline that goes into a movie like that. There is a TV show called The Orville. Do you still want me to bring it? Yes. During the viewer topics, there's a TV show called The Orville, which is sort of like a comedy Star Trek type thing, and they end up at a planet where social media is how some of the biggest decisions, like executions, are decided by whether or not people upvote or downvote people for doing things. But it's trivial stuff. Like if you throw a milkshake at a statue or something, you know what I mean? Like it's a statue that people like, but you're upset, you deface it or something like that. They can execute you because enough people downvote you. Is that the Seth MacFarlane space show? That's it. Commando remake? Wing Zero, I would take a Commando remake. My problem with a Commando remake is that Commando itself was very basic. My daughter's gone and I need to go and rescue her. That's a basic premise. So it's not very necessary to have a remake of a movie like that. Something like Running Man was more interesting because of the layout of the movie, the scenario of the world around you. And like I said, social media right now would even further alter the dynamic of the movie. Something like Commando is just a revenge movie. That, like I said, it's my daughter's been kidnapped and I have to go and get her. That's basically Commando. That's the only part anybody remembers anyway. So if you want that car, you need to get another car to hit that car to the sidewalk. Eat Portlock. It makes perfect sense. Afternoon, Rye. What's going on? Settling into your new place, I hope. Hopefully it's a fun experience. I think I asked you this before. You're by yourself again, right? You're living by yourself. Living by yourself is the first time I did that was in high school. My family was kind of all over the place, and then my mother passed away when I was 15. So at 16 years old, I was actually living in the house by myself. It was awesome. It was great for having a good time, having some freedom. I don't know that I miss it, but as a younger person, I very much relished it. It was very great, especially since I was kind of like a stoner. So it was very helpful. Like Taken. Yes. Taken I found to be more interesting. But, yeah, Taken, 20, 30 years from now, no one's going to need to remake Taken. Because it would be the same exact premise. Taken, the thing about Taken is that there's almost a detective story involved. You know, in Commando, for the most part, Schwarzenegger knew where to go. He just went and he killed everybody with a four rocket launcher. In Taken, he had to find them. So there was this sort of, not whodunit, but there was this sort of path, this journey that you were on with him to go and find the people. John Wick is very much the same way. I like the fact that the first John Wick movie, and then all of the movies really, are simply based on the fact that his dog was killed. It is obviously not a trivial thing. I think that his reaction was totally justified considering they killed his dog. But there's this notion that, you know, the president's not in danger. The world isn't there. There's no nuclear bomb. There's no nothing like that. Something happened. It literally could have been anything. Somebody could have crashed into his car and drove off. Something happened, and now we go on this journey not only to kill the people responsible, but to find them. So that makes it more interesting. 30 years from now, no one's going to need to remake Taken. It was not that kind of movie. Running Man, with the special effects, with the storyline, Running Man would absolutely need that. Elias, no one's going to call that number, mostly because that has one too many digits. I was dying when LA did that in the LA Noir. I remember the girl pulling a bazooka out on Commando. She had like the small bazooka. Hang on a second here. Nope. Okay. No more of that. Hello, Michaelis Larson. Okay, I feel like I'm getting that wrong. It's not even number. Yeah, it was way too many digits. I like you politely said no. And banned. That's what I need. I need a button for like immediately banning somebody. Here. Oh my god, here. This is gonna be for when we ban people.
Garbage day! Huh? No!
But Greg, I want my free spam and virus. Ew, spam. I don't like the computer lingo version or the food version. That's gonna be. Please remind me if and when we ever have to ban people for being nonsensical. That's just gonna be what we play. I need a shorter version that just says "garbage day" and then bans the person. If I can just make it off topic, I just watched the latest episode of Heavy Rain. You guys cracked me up. Thank you, 501. I actually I got through most of it and then I had to start the show. I always watch those shows back. I always watch them back to see what they sound like. And I know that Sabrina and Elliot will throw in little extra gags and stuff. So I like to, truth be told, for anybody that did not see that episode, that did see the episode, I was hoping that they would have the car crusher like moving around on the screen somewhere. Band-Aid. You know what, Rami? Let's hope one day we've got so many viewers that we need to use that button regularly. I don't want to have to, because that means we're getting bombarded with nonsense. But if we've got that many viewers, that's not too bad. I want to have to ban people, but I want the percentage to stay the same. Oh man, yeah, that's a good playthrough though. There's not, I can tell you right now, there's not a lot more left to that playthrough. I won't give away how much or how little, but there is not a lot left to that playthrough, which was kind of sad because I enjoyed seeing it. I guess at some point we'll have to play Detroit Become Human. Spam can taste all right if it's like it's the look. It just looks gross. I grew up with a dog. We grew up with a boxer when I was a kid. She passed away when I was like 12 or something. Spam looks like dog food to me. Spam looks like it comes out of the can, shaped like the can. The texture looks the same. It looks like dog food to me. And I spent so much time seeing the dog's food that when I saw Spam, it was just the same thing to me. Was you able to guess the killer? No. I will. We know who the killer is now. The playthrough has already been recorded. I don't want to give away too much. We know who the killer is. I did not know until the end. I didn't know until the very end who the killer was. It really did sort of. I think part of the reason was that it caught me off guard because I didn't know how close we were to the end of the game. A little behind the scenes for SGB. We were there to record. We were normally recording 2 weeks at a time, 2 weeks worth of episodes at a time. This was the last episode that I thought we were going to record. So then we had joked about the fact that there's probably not a lot left since Norman passed away unexpectedly. We don't know what happened to him. We think he may have had some sort of an aneurysm. Cut to him in the grinder. So I said, well, why don't we just record more? Like, are we close enough to record the rest of it? So it said, yeah, we're actually pretty close to the end. We recorded the rest of it. I was like, wow, we really were close to the end of it. Thank God we did this now. Just eat corned beef. Even I can eat corned beef, but it's I have to be really hungry to eat corned beef. Yeah, it pretty much is dog food. It's meat ground up into what amounts to some sort of paste. That's dog food. That's Spam. I never actually had Spam unless you count Spam emails. Yeah, Fox, they taste the same. Now, Spam that's been cooked in a frying pan. See, in Portlock, that's what I always hear. I always hear people say slices of fried Spam are actually good. Maybe because I don't know. It's something about the look and the consistency of it just bothers the hell out of me. I don't know. Maybe one day I'll get super desperate. Let's hope we're not in such dire straits. I need to get that desperate. But Rye is bored. Everybody, Rye is dropping Z's on me because I'm super boring, and that's. I'm not gonna lie, that hurts. Here I am, rock you like a hurricane. I am going to have to do Twitch Sings on stream one day because that thing is fun. For anybody that hasn't tried it, that is the karaoke program that people are using now. That is a ton of fun. You download the program, you link it to your Twitch account. Whether you stream or not, you don't have to stream it. That was my biggest concern, was that in order to use it, I'm gonna have to stream, and I don't know that I'm comfortable streaming it yet. I don't know how comfortable I would be to do that. You don't have to. You can actually hit the button to do the song, and it plays the song. You can do the karaoke, like it measures you, it scores you, and it will actually record the video. When you're done, you can upload the video instead of live streaming, or just delete it, which I deleted all my videos. Fox, it's absolutely free. 100% free. There's nothing you pay for. When you do better, when you sing better, you get points. You get up to 3 stars, and then you get money for making achievements, singing a certain amount, singing well, and you can use them when you stream. You can either have your camera turned on or an avatar that sings for you. You can upgrade that avatar. You can buy it clothes and change the design and such. It's actually really cool. So I'm getting more comfortable singing at the camera. I'm trying not to. I do the soulful singing where I close my eyes and I'm like, ah. I'm trying not to do that because that's not very presentable to the camera. Afternoon, Sean. Sean, a message flashed. Did something? Did you sub or something? I saw a real quick message flash in the chat, and I wasn't sure what that was. Oh no, it was the text for your 1-year subscriber thingy, I think. Who do you think the killer was by the end of the day? Do you remember when you saw that book? You sounded so sure you worked it all out. Oh, I had thought that it was Madison originally, which they kind of threw that out the window, I think, in Wednesday's episode. I did think that it was Madison, that I think I mentioned it in the episode, that she was helping Ethan because she wanted to make sure that Ethan survived, because if Ethan died, the game is over. Not the video game Heavy Rain, but the origami killer playing with Ethan. Like, that would have been over, so I figured she was the killer, and she was helping him to stay alive so that he could continue on the game. Sean, doing all right. Doing okay, Sean. It's a nice day for nice weather out. We went out, we got some curtains for the bedroom. We painted the bedroom last weekend. Memorial Day is like housework stuff when you own a house, because you get the extra day. So you get the weekend to do all the stuff and then the Monday to still relax. So we ended up painting the bedroom. So we got new curtains for it today. It's a super nice day. I have to go out again after the stream. I got to go get gas. But it's doing really well, Sean. Hope you're doing okay. How are you doing, by the way? For a fourth time, I've been denied going to the what? Oh, because it's not your pool, right? Because it's the one. It's like the other complex's pool. I was actually just watching Heavy Rain when I got the notification you were live. Then I'm happy you came here. I want to do Twitch Sings, but I never sang in front of anyone, only in my room and when I'm home alone. Fox, then Twitch Sings is actually perfect for you because that's exactly when I sing. Oh, it's that time. Yeah, you can have the camera off and pretend that you're alone. But Lilac, that's what I was saying. You don't even have to be streaming. You don't have to actually have the stream on for the game to work. It's weird to call it a game. You can just sing. You can just do it, and it will still measure how well you're doing. You will still get credit for singing the song. I only sing when I'm drunk. Rami, then start knocking them back because Twitch Sings is awesome. Feeling much better now. The finals is over. I passed my class with a B. Woo! Nothing wrong with B's. They look. I'm not even gonna go there. Not even gonna go there. Okay, I want to get into our first topic. We have 4 topics. We have 4 topics plus the viewer topics today. So we're probably gonna blast through a couple of these. I don't know how much there's going to be to discuss about them. But our first topic is Mario Maker 2. Let me make sure I got that right. Yeah. Mario Maker 2. They made some announcements that did not make some people happy. Nintendo is failing hard with this online. In the trash it goes. Right next to the fancy mac and cheese. They had made a couple of announcements which were not super awesome. Number one, this is like the weakest one, was that there's some sort of stylus or something that's supposed to come out that's Mario Maker 2 themed. It's not coming to the US. I don't really care. Who cares? They announced no amiibo functionality. Now, what the amiibo functionality did, as is my understanding, was that it gave you extra items that would transform your characters into the different sprites. And then you had different versions of the sprites. I don't know if it was just for the 8-bit Mario game or if it was for some of the other ones. But they they've removed amiibo functionality. I don't know if that means that we're not going to get those sprites, though. They could easily be just built into the game. You could easily just go. It was only 8-bit. You could easily just go into the game and they're unlockable, or you can have them unlockable by playing a certain amount of online levels. You know, when you play every 5 levels, you get another one of these sprites. You could build them into the game. There's no problem with that. I saw that somebody said, or they said something about not wanting to create new sprites because they're new assets that don't work in the other modes of the game. That's completely stupid to me that it's like that. Didn't they say all content and stuff? See, like that's what I was asking, and no one had a straight answer as far as whether or not they explicitly said they were not in the game. All that I saw them say was that no amiibo functionality, but that didn't mean that the sprites were not in the game. It's just everybody just sort of assumed that, and it was mentioned. I think Ryan actually mentioned it on Twitter that they just haven't been talking about it. They haven't been saying it. They haven't shown it in any of the videos, so that makes sense that it's not in the game. I feel like they would have shown it, especially when they said no amiibo functionality. I feel like they would have said, you know, no amiibo functionality, but don't worry, all those sprites are in the game. And they never actually said that, so I'm wondering if they are gone. It doesn't necessarily mean they can't add it later, but I don't know what to think. Nintendo, for as much as people bash Nintendo for online, and they are doing online very terrible, they have done DLC very well the last couple of times. If we remember, for Mario Kart added another 16 tracks at some point, and then a couple of extra racers. That's fantastic DLC. Breath of the Wild has great DLC. People are hoping for some Mario Odyssey DLC. Like, they can do, you know, Splatoon is probably the ultimate expression of their ability to do DLC correctly. So I feel like we're going to get some DLC for Mario Maker 2 that might include these amiibo things. The amiibo was just a faster way. You could unlock it in the original Mario Maker, but you need to complete 100 Mario Hard challenge for each skin. Okay, so yeah, so that's a bit difficult, but it's in the game at least. What you can't add into the game, probably because it might change the architecture of the game. You cannot play online levels with your friends. You can't specifically go online and load up your friends list and have them play your levels or play their levels. I think. I mean, you could trade level codes, I would imagine, but I don't think you can link up with your friends and play. Now, I have not played the first Mario Maker. Is that something that you could do in the first Mario Maker that you can't do now, or is that something that was never there to begin with? Either way, it should be added in some way. But I just want to know if this is something that we had that was lost, or something that was never there to begin with. Kirby Star Allies was updated for a year with free DLC. Yeah, that's good DLC. That's good DLC. I'm pissed at Nintendo for taking down their own music on YouTube. Poor Brawless guy. Oh yeah, I think that person had a bunch of music on. Now it's gonna be harder to find high quality 30-minute rips. In the first Mario Maker, there was no multiplayer. Period. Yeah, Mario Maker never had an online co-op, just map sharing. Yes, it was. So this is not something that was there and was lost. So I'm just interested in how upset people should be. I do still think it's something that can be there. My biggest concern is when you make a level, you can just share the code, right? Why can't you just share your code, your level code with other people? Like, why don't I just put it on Twitter and say, "Hey, this is the level I made." That's the sort of thing that's bothering me. I don't understand. This goes back to the whole rage culture, the whole I'm tired of being mad about stuff. I feel like everybody's reacting. They're upset because they lost something that they never had in the first place. And it's not really that big a deal because you can just share your level code. It was more an assumption that when we heard 4-player co-op, everyone assumed online co-op. But Lilac, that's everybody else's fault. Nintendo notoriously has opted away from online co-op in replacement for couch co-op. They're notorious for that. This is not the first time people have been mad about that. Mario Party didn't have online play, I believe. Right? That you couldn't link up with your friends and play Mario Party online. I don't think so. The issues are kindergarten levels of easy to change. Yeah. No friends to play, no amiibo? Come on, Nintendo. Yeah, and that, Ryan, I think that's the problem that everybody's having. And that is the problem that I have too, is that these are not super complicated problems to fix from a programming language, as is my understanding, because I don't know, it's just they're just not big problems. Hey, what did I miss? Mario Party mini. Yeah, it's only mini games, but you can't play the actual full game. Now, with the mini games for Mario Party, could you play it with people on your friends list, or was it just randoms? Yeah, but even then, it was just mini games. It was not full games. This is not new information for Nintendo to do. It's not okay. It still sucks, but it's just not new. So I wonder how much rage people really should be having right now. I'm fine with it. I neither have friends nor amiibos. Nintendo are catering them for me. Lilac, you know what my biggest issue is? As a streamer, it would be nice. As a streamer, it would be nice to have people in the chat and, have them load up and play. We do it with Smash Brothers. I wish Smash Brothers had a bigger viewing lobby so that we could have more people in the lobby at once and cycle through more people more easily. I wish that it had that. I always assumed that they didn't want boards because they didn't want people rage quitting in the middle of a... See, Dragoon, that's why I would assume you don't have random mix-ins or mix-ups. I would say don't do random mix-ups. Random meetups with Mario Party, because you're going to have people who rage quit and they're going to leave in the middle of the game and it's going to drop the game. How many times have you been online gaming with your friends? You're in Discord, you're playing, Fortnite or something like that. You're doing something co-op, you're playing Splatoon, and someone just decided, I'm upset, so I'm just leaving. When it's friends, when it's actually people that's less likely to happen. Random people are the ones that are more likely to just quit. So I would understand them saying, okay, you can play with people on your friends list, but you can't play with randoms. That makes more sense to me. Doing it the other way around is not a smart idea. I'd be more angry if I had to switch. I just kind of find it weird that amiibo support isn't there at all, seeing as how it was so prominent in the first game. Then again, it wasn't in the 3DS port either. The 3DS port makes sense just because they don't want to gate you into buying a near-field communicator. The Wii made sense because amiibo was effectively a gimmick that they were pushing, much like the touchpad itself. I know in Johnny's sub Discord, they instantly started sorting out Mario Maker 2 sub night, and then the no friends thing dropped. Yeah, see, exactly. Streamers especially would have benefited very well from that, but they just killed it. Small thing I'm upset about with Mario Maker is that I've always advocated that if we can't use a touchscreen in TV mode, then go even harder into the Mario Paint parallels and let us use USB mount. Oh, that actually would have been really cool. Let us plug a Minion. I wonder if you can, though. There's an attachment to buy that lets you use a keyboard and mouse on your Switch. I wonder if you can use that. I mean, I'm sure you can. Wouldn't people complain then that you'd have to add them to your friends list to play? Also, what if a friend has to go do something or a Switch time? Well, that's Dragoon Knight. That just becomes a consideration issue. I would be upset if I sat down on Discord with 3 friends to play a multiplayer game, and then halfway through one of them said, oh, by the way, I just have to leave. That's more of a scheduling issue. But I don't think that that's very likely to happen. I think it does happen. I think obviously there are emergencies and stuff, but I don't think that if that were to happen, if I sat down with 3 people on Discord and we were going to go and we were going to play an online game together, and then someone kept saying, "Oh, I have to go," halfway through, I have to go, or they started losing and said, "No, I'm quitting," I would just not play with them again. I just wouldn't have them on my group anymore. It's really as simple as that. They could add it later. They've been doing that. That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that they do add that later. I'm hoping that they want it to be randoms first. They want everybody to play the single player mode. They want to let levels build up and get experience, and then say, "Oh, now you can play with your friends." Now that everybody knows what they're doing, you can do what I do and play a different game. People complain about it. And yeah, that's the thing. They'll just complain about something else. People will just, and that was what we talked about a few weeks ago with the tired of being upset. You know, the rage culture, where it's just everybody just be mad. It's time to be mad. You know, oh, what sometimes I feel like waking up and posting on Twitter, "Hey, good morning, everybody. What are we mad about today?" Like, that's how it feels sometimes. And my Twitch app crashed, so I missed your entire response. Well, you're gonna have to go back because I won't repeat it. Mostly because I don't remember it. You just summed up my guild in Final Fantasy 14. A lot of nights they beg to run stuff, and then after a run or two, "Oh, I have to go and do this or that for now." Yeah, Lilac. So you just don't play with them anymore. You just leave the guild. You just tell them, "I'm not showing up anymore." When I played WoW, we had people that would show up for a few nights and then go. And when we asked if everything was all right, they would say, I'm tired of doing a 3-hour raid, and the first hour is trying to get everything together." That's the sort of thing that happens. That's the problem that people have. That's why we started gathering a half an hour. We started telling people that the raid time was a half an hour earlier, and said, "You have to get here. If you're not here at 7:30, you're not going to be going with us when we start at 8 o'clock. But I don't know how I feel about some games having simple things missing, and then when they add it in later, they treat it as such a big deal when it could have been there from the start. It depends, Minion. I do get what you mean. It depends. See, the thing about Mario Maker with this particular situation is sort of what I said earlier. You still have a way to give the stages that you make to your friends. You just can't have them on a list and play at the same time as you. That's the only thing that's sort of weird to me, you know. And mind you, I keep forgetting that there's supposed to be 4-player co-op at the same time, so that's going to be sort of an issue. I don't know. I think that there was enough game in the first Mario Maker to justify $60. I feel like that's still the case here. I feel like there's still going to be plenty of game to justify $60. So playing with your friends later will probably feel like a bonus. Couldn't you just solo an MMO? No, you cannot solo an MMO. You can play solo up to a certain point, but dungeons, raids, all of that stuff requires groups of people. Dungeons you can do randomly. When I left WoW, there were plenty of random dungeons, but there were not random raids. I think they added that later, but not even for the current tier stuff. It was always like the old tiers where everybody was overpowered anyway. Here's a good question. Is Mario Maker 2 worth the Switch Online? I guess that probably at this point depends on how much you liked Mario Maker 1. I understand getting tired of negativity, but legitimate complaints. No, you're right, Hawkeye. Legitimate complaints shouldn't be ignored. I think the problem there is just that legitimate complaints is sort of an opinion. When a game like that doesn't have any kind of multiplayer at all, that's a blatant disregard for something in the game. There should absolutely be that. When there's multiplayer, but it's not the kind of multiplayer that you like, that's when you need to ask yourself, is this a legitimate complaint, as in a complaint for everybody, or am I just upset? That's when, and again, you get to voice your opinion, but there's a difference between voicing your opinion and shouting at your computer screen, "I'm not going to buy this game." Mostly because you should be shouting into your microphone. Do you need online to upload and download levels? I believe you do. I think so. And Lizard, what is going on? You know, things we need to do are either 8-man content or 36-man content. Yeah. I feel so chatty today. I'm just happy it has more single player. I'm not great at building stuff, and I love play. Yeah, see, I never played it, so this is going to be. I will probably get it. So this is probably going to be my first experience with Mario Maker. I don't know that I have any interest in multiplayer Mario. I didn't really do it much with Mario Deluxe or whatever, with Mario U. I didn't do it with those games. I didn't do the multiplayer. So multiplayer for me is on a platform game, when I can't move at my own pace, multiplayer is just sort of blah. If you want to build courses and nothing else, then you don't have to buy the online. If you want to share and play with others, you will. Yeah, that's when you need the online. And again, it makes me laugh that people are saying things like, "Oh, I don't want to pay $20 for online to play some Mario Maker, and I can't play with my friends." But at $20, you get to play Smash Online, Mario Maker Online, Splatoon Online, Nintendo games. We're getting to the point where saying I'm not going to pay $20 for this one game is ridiculous, because you're not getting just one game. Early on, it was easy to say, "Oh, I'm not paying $20 because I'm going to play a Smash Brothers." But then we're at a point where that's long gone. I need some casual shorts. I'm tired of jeans. Or I'm sorry, are they pronounced Johns? Because that's how you spell the name Sean. Surprise Olive Garden lasagna. I pretty much played SP and other people's levels in. Okay. Greg's Tetris addiction. Has Greg's Tetris addiction subsided? Lilac, no, because I downloaded the single player version and now I can play it at work without the online connection against 98 computer opponents, and they're actually pretty challenging. So no, my Tetris addiction has gotten worse. There's an urgent issue. My laptop keeps restarting over and over again. It's been this way for 2 weeks. Could be overheating, maybe? No, Sean is spelled X. Lizard, no, I think that's how you spell Norman now. Yeah, so the Mario Maker 2 thing, I'm still going to try the game out. I know SGB is going to do it, so I know I'm going to invite myself over there to play it. Whether or not I buy it myself is another question. I might buy it myself just because I have a strong interest in going online and getting a bunch of codes, and I can play the game single player. My Fortnite playing is starting to. I'm still playing it, but it's starting to subside. So I need to start finding other games to fill that space in, and I feel like something like Mario Maker might actually work. I love Tetris and I'm addicted to Tetris, but there is only so much I can play of it before I just can't look at the damn blocks anymore. And I still am not at a point where I want to go back to Detroit Become Human. We'll get there. I just finished experiencing a David Cage game. I may need a bit of a break. I pay for online because I play Splatoon. I haven't touched Smash Online yet, surprisingly. I have been playing Smash Online more lately. Wow, we've been on this topic for a while. Yeah, Gabby, the original section also went on a little bit longer. I didn't know that we would talk about this much. We didn't even ramble as much as we normally do. But we are going to change a topic here real quick. So that's Mario Maker 2. I don't know how big the issues are, but we will see.